All right, everybody, welcome to the Mole Reunion. We are here in the lovely Mole Studio, designed by our own Wild Wolf. You can see we have quite a few people here to watch the reunion. Do a quick pan through here so you guys can see. But you can see we are missing our players. So let's go ahead and bring everybody out. We're going to do it in the order of elimination. First was Leotech, age 99, professional basketball player from the Philippines. You can see Leo is already here because that's an NPC. Our second victim of the mole was Minotaur, age 18, part-time Italian plumber, full-time savior of the world. And here he comes. Third elimination was Akron, age 30, casino owner from the USA. He is here also as an NPC because he's unavailable. Our fourth victim, Gizmo Dude, age 20, professional gamer from the UK. The fifth victim of the mole was Puppery, age 27, a veterinarian from the United States of America. Our sixth victim of the mole and our youngest player was Lizzie, age 8, student from the USA. Our last victim of the mole, and seventh victim overall, was Wild Wolf, age 29, a slacker from the USA.
Oops.
Our only survivor was Desil, age 23, a lumberjack from the UK. And last but not least, our mole for Season 1, Piper Bunny, age 26, an astronaut from the UK. Take your throne, mole.
Oh, you guys are so mean.
So first off, I want to thank all you players for playing in Season 1, and I want to thank all the people out there watching who watched our first season. It was much more popular than we thought. And we are definitely going to be doing Season 2, which you will see air beginning of 2012, probably into January, beginning of February at the latest. But first, I just kind of wanted to open up and see if you guys had any thoughts that you wanted to give about your thoughts playing the mole. So we'll just kind of go from left to right here on my screen. Piper?
I thought it was absolutely amazing. Thank you for all your hard work, Bilbos. I had so much fun doing them all.
Okay. Desil?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. It was kind of a good challenge as well. And I mean, I think I was just incredibly lucky to manage to somehow get to the end. Even if it was snatched away from me at the last minute by the cruel mole.
All right. And Wolf?
Yeah, it was really great. You did an amazing job designing the vast majority of the challenges, and Gizmo did one of my favorites. The quiz challenge was awesome as well. It was really just a blast to play, and a blast to be the final loser.
All right. Lizzie?
My favorite challenge was the first one where we build the house that you copied off, that you made. It was really fun. The mole was one of my favorite things we ever did in Minecraft.
All right. Very good. Pup?
I really, really liked it. You did a real good job designing it and recording it and everything. My favorite challenge, I'd have to say, even though I hate pigs, was the piggy challenge.
And Gizmo?
I really enjoyed it. Don't have a favourite. I loved it all so much. But well done. You did such a great job, and thank you for letting us play.
Well, you're welcome. Akron can't say anything, so we'll just say he really enjoyed his brief time there. And
Okay.
Minotaur?
The challenges I did, I thought were really well done, and I enjoyed doing them. But I was upset I didn't get to be involved in the later challenges as an actual player.
Aww.
And lastly, Leo, who is not here, but he was definitely sad to be the first to go. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the challenges and let everybody talk anything they want to say about those challenges in relation to you enjoyed it, you didn't, or if you were, in the case of Piper the Mole, if you did any sabotage, or if you were a player and you did something sneaky, that'll be the time to talk about it for those challenges. Our first challenge, number 1, was worth 200 diamonds, and that was Find It, Build It, where you guys had to copy what I had built and run throughout the area to find the parts. The mole ended up getting the money for that challenge. So anybody want to discuss anything about that challenge?
Yeah, it was quite hard, really. It was the first challenge to get a fix on who the mole could be, because we were also spread out. I personally was like kind of looking at everyone, but it was so hard because everyone was all over the place. I think, Piper, you were actually at one of my chests, weren't you?
I think we were quite close actually going round, because I found it quite hard to hide things from you during that one, and you kept looking at chests either before or after me.
Yeah, and double checking.
Yeah, not just because it was me, but just double checking everybody. We just continued to go round the whole time. Yeah.
That challenge was a little fun to me because you got to build something that my dad made, Bellboz. It was just like so much fun.
I did disconnect during that. That was legit. I did disconnect during that game, so I wasn't trying to sabotage anything.
Yeah, you can hear the thunder as well from Bellboz in some places. You guys were having some quite severe weather, I think, when we filmed that.
Yeah, I was getting ready to mention that during that the first at least 2 parts of the first episode, there was quite a thunderstorm rolling through the area. So that is real thunder if you hear it at certain points. All right, now the second challenge was the brain teaser. That was when we had the big brains and the small brains. That one was worth 100 diamonds, and the players did complete that one fine. So anybody have any thoughts on that particular challenge?
Well, that one was quite hard for me to try and sabotage, because I knew that I had to be a big brain, because I knew that the small brains weren't going to do anything, and I only just got in to be a big brain because Gizmo did actually go forwards at the same time I said, yes, I will be a big brain. And the only thing I could do was try to get Wolf to read it slower and like really try to think, what could it be? Because my maths isn't great. But they got it before I could try to stall them or anything.
Yeah, I think Akrim was a beast on that one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
no chance.
Both in the same buildings, pretty much around the same place, talking it out together. And then he was just like, we're trying to say it at the same time, but it didn't work out that way because I missed the push to talk button. But he was just like really on that. Do you have anything to say down there, NPC Akrim?
He's quite quiet.
He is. It's all right.
All right, so after those first 2 challenges, the mole obviously was up 200 to 100. When we went into the quiz, this was obviously Leo's elimination. During the quiz, you guys, 3 of you thought Wolf was the mole. 3 thought Gizmo was the mole. 1 person thought Minotaur, and 1 person thought Puppery. Now that's only 8 votes, because I don't count Piper's vote because she always voted for herself as the mole. So
I tried to answer the quiz correctly, you see.
Now, after this episode aired, the fans out there who voted, 28% thought Mario was the mole after the first episode. 14% thought it was Wolf, 13% Piper, 12% Lizzie, 8% Puppery, 7% Akron, 7% Gizmo, and 6% Basil.
So that's quite interesting, just in the fact that Mario actually did sabotage the first challenge.
Yeah.
So he definitely did earn his votes there, I think, a little bit.
Although it was really hard to see in that challenge who did sabotage it. But yeah.
Yeah, it could have been really anybody that
Yeah.
was doing it.
I was just so scared that I was going to die carrying around all this cobblestone and smooth stone I think I had.
All right, so now let's move on to the second episode. Challenge number 3 was Pass the Rose, which was worth 200 diamonds, and you guys did complete that successfully. So any thoughts on that challenge?
I liked this one.
I have to explain Akron's behavior on that one. He's been getting a lot of guff, I think, for not knowing how to throw. And it's really because he'd played Minecraft maybe twice before we started filming.
I thought it was funny because you had to throw a rose over the fence, and it's hard to do that, so...
Yeah, no, it was a good fun challenge. Well, I imagine it would have been quite hard to kind of really sabotage a lot for you, Piper.
Yeah, I couldn't do much on that one because you guys all know that I lagged, which I kind of played it lagging, but I got the easy route across the slow sand, so there wasn't much I could have done on that one, really.
All right, challenge number 4 was Thanks for the Memories. And that was worth 200 diamonds, and that went to the mole. Now, that was when you guys did the classic concentration game. So, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that episode.
I did want to address one comment in the comments of that, because somebody said that the last one doesn't count, so it really was just 30. The last one does count because we're turning over 2. So, yeah, it was 31, the mole one. Just. And, yeah, I did know where all the pairs were, so that mistake that I made in the middle was real, not...
Yeah, that was a really frustrating challenge as well, because I know, looking back on it, there were a couple of times I know I thought I'd got the right ones when I'd just been I was literally just one off, and if I'd just done, got that right those sort of 1 or 2 times, we would have kind of succeeded. Well, never mind.
Yeah, there was the black one that I missed, and that's because when I'm up at the top and I jump down, it's kind of different from seeing it from up above and far away, and then getting down there among all these gravels. So I did miss that one on accident.
And that was the point at which I started thinking you were the mole pup.
Yep. It should have been very obvious, but I couldn't remember where it was. I knew it was in that area.
Is the one that I messed up?
Yeah, this was one where Giz did miss one that if he would have got, it would have been what put you guys over the top to actually be able to get some money out of that challenge.
So I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I don't think
it was so stressful.
Yeah, I don't think any of you guys actually threw that challenge. I mean, obviously Piper missed one on purpose, but she's the mole. But I don't think as players, the rest of you actually missed something on purpose. You just missed it because you didn't know. All right, so after that challenge, the players had 300 diamonds and the mole had 400. And after the quiz was taken, 3 people thought Wolf was the mole. 2 people thought it was Puppery, 1 thought it was Gizmo, and 1 thought Akron. So again, through these first 2 episodes, not one player has voted for Piper yet. Now, Minotaur, you were eliminated this episode. Who were you targeting as the mole, and that's probably more than likely what led to your elimination?
Yeah, I thought it was Wolf from the beginning, so I was just voting for him over and over, just because I thought everything he said and did was suspicious.
Right.
All right, now, after that episode aired, 28% of the fans out there thought Akron was the mole. 16% thought Pup was the mole. A hair less than that, still 16%, but I'm not worrying about the decimal points, but a hair less thought Piper was the mole. 14% thought Lizzie. 12% Gizmo, 5% Wild Wolf, and 5% Decil. All right, so let's move on to the third episode. And this was challenge number 5 was our first thing, which was the 8 checkers conundrum. Now, you guys actually did complete this successfully. However, we did have Gizmo taking some of the wool from that set for that challenge, which incurred you guys a 25 diamond penalty. So the mole got 25 and you guys only got 75. But
Yeah, thanks for that, Giz.
thoughts on
Not
that
too bad.
challenge?
I thought that was really hard, that challenge, but yeah, Pup got me eliminated, disqualified, or whatever.
Hey, in getting
We
you
just- well-
eliminated, I helped us.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
that's
job.
Yeah,
true.
exactly. She would have wasted all the time.
I was trying. I really was trying to waste the time. And there was one little bit where I like placed the 2 blocks after Pup said, the thing to get me disqualified, and Giselle was like, "No, the last one you did." So I was breaking different ones on purpose, and yeah, I was having a good laugh doing that one.
Yeah, I did do that on purpose. So
You did?
I did that on purpose.
What, to get me disqualified?
Yeah, because I was trying to act molish.
I didn't know this.
I didn't know this either.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Puppery.
All right, the next challenge, number 6, was Run for Your Life. And this was worth 100 diamonds, and the mole did get the diamond. So this was the challenge where you guys were running the obstacle course with extra Minotaur and Leo shooting arrows at you. One little bit of information on this particular challenge. We ran this challenge about four times because initially I wanted people to run through it with only half a heart or 1 heart. It was way too hard. We added more hearts and kept testing it, and the players just kept failing miserably. So I think I got it to a full set of full hearts with no armor. And that seemed to be the fairest, and it worked good. But what you saw was their only attempt at that. It's not like I let them have a run with full hearts and then we thought, okay, it's doable. We actually played it each time with these different heart level settings. And then I went with the last one because they really did have a chance to do it, but just came up a little short.
I didn't think that one was totally fair because the first leg that I had to run, I had Leo targeting me. That was not fair.
I think the only way that could have been worse would have been had Gizmo been eliminated at that point.
Yeah, Gizmo's our best arrow person.
Until I took an arrow to the knee.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I thought
God.
the challenge itself was really nice looking. It was really well designed. I thought that it was set up really well. I just couldn't make it to the end of the long straight corridor. It was so frustrating.
I was really surprised at that, actually, because you guys made me go first because my laptop's not very good, and obviously I was going to fail at this challenge. And then it was like I was really playing up my lag because we did the walkthrough at the start, and I made sure I was the last one coming out so you guys knew that my lag was really bad. And then as we were doing it, I got all the way through to the gold bit, and I thought, wait a sec, I'm actually going to go through, and you do see me on the video. I pause and I stop, and that's when I get shot.
Yeah, I saw that on the video.
And also I've got to apologise to Pup as well for saying the really bad comments about her at the end of this episode, because I really laid into her on this one.
Yeah, she was really mad that I took her turn.
Yeah. Obviously,
but it's
just
okay.
acting it to the camera.
It's okay now. We forgive each other. I still love Piper.
Yeah, I still love Puppery.
At the end of that episode, the players had 375 diamonds, and the mole added another 125. So the players added 75, the mole added 125 to have a total of 525. So after the vote, 3 people thought Pup was the mole, 2 thought Wolf, and 1 thought it was Gizmo.
Who thinks it's me?
I think it might have been me who thought it was you. Because then when you went out, that was when I thought.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, in this episode, this was when Akron had exited before it started, and the person eliminated in this episode was Gizmo. Now, after this episode, the fans, 40% thought Pup was the mole, 20% thought Lizzie was the mole. 17 thought Piper was the mole. 12% thought Wolf was the mole, and 9% thought DeSille was the mole. So, and again, no player has voted for Piper yet after 3 episodes. And in all cases, the fans from episode 1, 2, and 3, Piper was always third place in the votes.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's move on to the 4th episode. The first challenge of that episode, challenge number 7, was Here Piggy Piggy. This one was worth 200 diamonds, and the players did complete this one. This was one I had a lot of fun making. It was a very simple design, but I just was excited about this, and Piper actually got online with me the night before, and we tested it. And I think we did about 3 or 4 pigs without putting a lot of effort into it. So I was a little bit worried it was too easy.
Yeah, this is really good, the Piggy Piggy one. It's just the pigs are so unpredictable. It was really hard to actually push them in. So I played this one really straight because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I think I think on YouTube I seemed to get a bit of flack because there was at one point a pig walked into a pen and I didn't shout out loud, and I must have missed it. And also I killed a couple of pigs as well, I think, towards the end of our challenge, but that was more or less just because I was getting frustrated with the pigs and I knew we'd got enough in to win. So yeah, I just decided to slaughter them all.
I think we did quite well on this one, though.
We did.
Yeah, I mean, you guys completed it. So.
I think I said that whenever we were doing the Here Piggy Piggy, but I had said that, come on guys, I work with pigs, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, now the next challenge, challenge number 8, was back to school. Now, this one had no diamonds as a prize unless the person who won it would give up the exemption for the diamonds. Now, Piper did win this challenge. She knew all the answers ahead of time, but she did keep the exemption. And this really, here, when we get to the talk about the final score, I'm going to come back and mention this, but this was really a crucial moment in the scoring, and one reason why I think Piper had to take the exemption.
Yeah, it was such a big risk, this one, because if I won it, took the exemption, then I'd just have arrows pointed at me. It's Piper, Piper's the mole. But I majorly panicked on this one. I was so tense doing this, and I replied really quickly to Bellbuzz's messages. You know, when we did it, we had to send the answer privately. I just kept answering quickly, not thinking, oh wait, this is going to be on camera. But yeah, I hoped it really wasn't obvious that I was a mole on this one, because I didn't do this one very well.
Yeah, I think that I gave everybody a run for their money in that challenge.
Yeah.
Now, Lizzie did have an advantage in that one somewhat.
Yes, she did.
Because most of these were videos she was in.
Yeah. And I have to say, DeSille did really well, considering he hadn't watched any of the episodes.
Yeah,
I thought that might be a bit mole-ish.
I got really lucky there, actually. I mean, a lot of the answers I was putting down were pretty much guesses, but yeah, I did okay, considering, which was mostly down to luck. So.
Yep, I think it was just Piper and I that got the halts. I don't think anybody else got halts.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, after these 2 challenges, the players took their first lead with 575 diamonds to the mole's 525. Now, after the quiz was taken, 2 people thought Pup was the mole, 1 person thought Piper, and 1 person thought Wild Wolf. Now, this was the episode where Pup was eliminated, so she probably was the 1 vote for Wild Wolf. Everybody else thought it was Puppery, except one of you thought it was Piper. Was that you, DeSille?
Yeah, I think it was me from
yeah.
I think I was the first one to start kind of being a bit suspicious of Piper. So.
Grr.
Yeah, so that was the 4th episode before somebody finally voted for her. So she did really well. I was expecting her to get a vote or 2 possibly during the earlier episodes, but she, just skated through with nobody thinking she was the mole. Now, the viewers after this episode aired, 33% thought it was DeSille. And I think part of that was because of the pig.
It was the pigs, yeah.
And not necessarily doing as well on the quiz may have helped too. But I think the piggy thing was probably the big thing. 29% thought it was Lizzie. 22% thought it was Piper. And 16% thought it was Wolf. So Lizzie wasn't too far in the voting behind DeSille, but he did have a 4% advantage on her. So let's move on to our 5th episode. The first challenge was challenge number 9, Monumental Questions. This had a total of 400 diamonds available. 200 went to the players and 200 went to the mole. So your guys' thoughts on this challenge?
It's probably from just a sheer design standpoint. One of my favorite. Plus, I love trivia, so it worked out really well. But some of the questions were infuriating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And none of the players managed to see the signs on all the monuments, which was quite good for me.
Did you know beforehand?
I knew beforehand. I knew all the answers to all the questions beforehand as well. But I did play it straight. Even though I had the answers up, I chose my strongest topic out of all of them, which was history, and ones that I didn't actually genuinely know, I said, genuinely why I didn't know them. I played that one straight.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have kind of succeeded there if it hadn't been for basically the help of Wolf. He pretty much answered all my questions for me, and
I felt so bad about that.
Oh no, honestly, I would have not got. Well, I would have maybe got 1 or 2 of them, but yeah, I would never have done. I'd never have got the diamonds basically without your help. So I'm completely, in your debt on that one.
I did try to interfere with DeSille's one though, with the movie questions. Like, I think there was the Pirates of the Caribbean one. I tried to get them to reconsider, but I think they'd already answered. And the president one, I was trying to get Wolf to really think about it, going through how many presidents, how many years, that kind of thing. I tried, but I couldn't really do much on that one.
This one was the challenge that I actually first started to suspect you on, Piper.
Really?
Primarily because of the what you just said about the one for DeSille.
Oh.
Trying to slow it down.
Yeah.
The 10th challenge in this episode was Prison Break. Now this was the one, it was worth 200 diamonds and the mole did get to 200. This was when you guys had to do the word ladder. Now DeSille, he rocked through this, did the word ladder that was the same for all of you guys, and then he did the final one for you.
Yeah, I like this challenge.
Piper knew the words going into it, so she could play it however she wanted. Obviously Lizzie really struggled with this one, with her age. I think this was a tough one for her, but I tried to not design any challenges to take into account her age. I mean, she had to kind of play at the same level as the rest of the players, and she made it very, very far, even considering. But this was a tough one for her. She failed it, and I think Wolf got hung up on, he had a word in his head or something of that nature, and he didn't get through.
It ended up being lie versus die, and lie wasn't right, but I couldn't get past it.
So
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Prison Break?
I was just going to say, seeing as I knew all the answers, I was just waiting for somebody to go all the way through, and then I was going to be the second person. So I played that one.
Yeah, I was in the first room. I was hung up. I kept on. I did the word ladder, and then I kept on inputting the. I think I kept on inputting the second to last one instead of the second from the first one. So I was in the first room for a little while, but then once I figured out what I was doing, I managed to get through the rest of them fairly quickly. But just that first room hung me up for a bit.
All right. Now, after this episode, the mole took a lead again because the mole picked up 200 from the diamond, or 200 diamonds from the monumental questions, and 200 diamonds from Prison Break, and the players only got 200 diamonds from monumental questions. So the score after that episode was 775 for the players, 925 for the mole. Now, going in after the quiz was taken, 2 people thought Piper was the mole, which obviously was Wolf and DeSille. And Lizzie thought Wolf was the mole, and that was her downfall. And Lizzie was eliminated. On the fans, this is the first time the fans were locked in. 52% thought Piper was the mole, 25% Decille, and 23% Wolf. So they had finally locked in after they saw the episode and that Lizzie was eliminated. When it was down to just the three of you, they were locked onto you, Piper.
Yikes. I don't know what gave me away, though. I didn't act particularly mole-ish. Apart from maybe the bit with Decille's questions at the monument. But
you go back and you watch the videos, it's a little bit more obvious than, you're in there actually playing.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't see the text for the question one, so you didn't know who people voted for, too.
Well, one thing that I thought while watching it after the fact, or really while editing the videos, was that Piper seemed to be the most comfortable in the game, talking-wise. She was much more talkative than everybody else combined. So
yeah, I talking with you as well in private. She was sort of after the quiz. She was there for. I noticed she was there for a long time every time, but I didn't really pick up on it until afterward.
Yeah, and I'm talking too just in general throughout the episodes. I mean, Piper talked the most. Decille's referring to when I would have an interview with the players where I'd ask them who they think is the mole. Piper would always give me these very long reasons about all these different people being the mole.
Overcompensating.
Yeah, so she was, and I would edit it down to just 20, 30 seconds, so it didn't look like this big novel. In some cases, she'd pick 3 different people, and I'd edit it so she's only saying one person. But I just say, just in general, Piper seemed more comfortable throughout the episodes, and just while the games were going on, while the challenges were being made, she was more talkative than a lot of the other players.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we didn't actually, in the discussions just between me and Belbuzz, we didn't actually talk about, oh no, somebody's onto me, oh no, this is happening, that is happening. It was literally me just saying, I think it's this person because this person because this person because. I was writing down notes thinking, right, that person was mole-ish because they did this, that's what I'm going to say in the interview. I overcompensated big time.
And one of the roles of being the mole is that when I do the interviews with all of you, the mole needs to state something compelling about who they think the mole is, even though they know it's not, that they know it's them, it's not this person, because that goes in the video. I have to have a compelling comment or thought from them so that hopefully when the viewers are watching, they won't be zoning in on that person as the mole. You guys never hear it, but if one of you gets to be the mole in a new season, that's just something that you'll have to do.
Yeah.
All right, so going into the final episode, challenge number 11, It Takes 3. That was worth 200 diamonds, and you guys did complete it. That was the one where Piper was in the dark room, Wolf was in the room with pressure plates, and Decille was in the room with the chest with the pick and the locked door. So, your guys' thoughts on that challenge?
I was kind of curious, actually, to ask Wolf and Decille whether they realised that me and Belbuzz Belbuzz and the Mole had discussed which person to put in which room, because Belbuzz never actually asked us at the start of the video, at the start of the episode or that challenge, who would like to go into spot A, spot B, spot C. It was like, right, Piper's in the dark room, Wolf is in the one with the pressure plates, and Decille's in the other one. I thought, watching that back, I thought that was a bit suspicious why Belbuzz never actually said, who would like to go into this one, or this one. To give us some option. It was just straight away.
No, I just kind of thought it was an arbitrary decision. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm with Will. I mean, looking back, I can kind of see what you mean, but at the time, I didn't really think anything of it, so.
Okay.
And if I would have been thinking better, I would have made something up like I randomly drew your names and this is where I put you.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I probably should have. Luckily, it didn't make much of a difference. And I don't think I ever saw any comments on the video about that.
No.
Okay. The next challenge was challenge number 12, the long and winding road. Now, Gizmo designed the bulk of this. I think Mario, Leo, and Pup helped him too. This is kind of a salute to the actual mole show here in the U.S. where they did this challenge. It's kind of a staple of that show that this is like the last challenge. This was worth 300 diamonds, and all 300 diamonds went to the mole. So,
it was hard.
yeah.
It was really
Yeah, it
hard,
really
this
was.
one.
I mean, it was.
Um,
I have to say, yeah, congrats to like everyone who built it because it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Like the town was like really awesome the way it was built out and planned out and everything. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it as we were walking through all this and thinking, gosh, how many options have they had to actually make for us to go left, right, A, B, you know. Absolutely amazing, guys. Well done.
But it was hard.
It was really hard.
I guess I should explain the one comment. Actually, a bunch of comments. But one comment was that it was not possible to read the questions incorrectly. So I actually had to take the quiz twice on this one. And obviously this was the last challenge that we had. So it was at the end of a day of taping. I was a little bit tired. You know, we were all kind of like almost done for the day. And then I had to retake the quiz again. So the first time I took it, I thought it out. I gave the answers that I, thought were correct. The second time, I was tired. I rushed through the questions. Some of them had double negatives in them, and I read them incorrectly.
Yeah, I would note too, what Wolf's touching on is I accidentally sent him the wrong questions on this. So he had to do this twice. And it was a very long day. When we record the mole, we try to record 3 episodes at least in some cases during the day, during one recording session, and that takes hours and hours with everything that's involved. So we might be online for 4 or 5 hours trying to do this. So it is very tiring. So he had to take that final question thing twice, and that was part of that. And then Gizmo did do the questions for this. I think I might have helped him on just a few, but he pretty much, I think, made all the questions. And I just put them onto our online forums. Same thing you guys use to do the voting for who in a build contest or who you thought was the mole. That's the same interface and the same website that I use for the players to take the quizzes and everything. All right, so now after the challenges, the mole had the commanding lead now of 1,225 diamonds to the players' 975. So the mole had won it. Going into the final quiz, obviously Wolf and Desil both knew it was Piper. And of course Piper's quiz means nothing, so they both were voting on Piper, and they had an exact tie. And Desil finished the quiz 49 seconds quicker than Wolf, so Wolf was the final eliminated victim of the mole. Now, one thing that could have saved Wolf, there was a question on how old is the mole.
I know.
He missed it. He put an answer that was Pup's age. If he would have got that question right, he would have won. He would have been the final survivor. But because he missed it, it was a tie, and then he was slower. So the players had a final again of 975. The mole had 1,225. The mole was victorious in season 1. Congrats to Piper.
Thank you.
Piper and I are close in age, though.
Yeah.